everyone. How are you today? So I think today we have listened to a lot of great talk about Frappe. I'm not sure I'm convinced about Frappe. Are you convinced? Okay, if not today, I think what I want to do is to tell you how I'm convinced about Frappe. Actually, the subject of the presentation is more about the journey of how I am as an implementer of Frappe, of Odoo, why now I changed to Frappe. Okay, just to give you a little bit about my background. So actually, I was in the non-open source before. Before this, I was starting working on an enterprise application, like a very expensive price, right? Like EAM, ECM, many of them are outsourcing. And frankly, what I can tell you that I hated it. The reason is not because it's not a good job, it's everything is good. It's just that, to my opinion, I think the software itself is much overpriced. Right? It is, I hated it so much that, after I've been working with that for like 10 years, I quit and then I just joined an NGO, just to feel relief that I'm not doing overpriced thing, just to give back to the society. Right? But then after I came back from the community works, I didn't know about open source yet at the time. Around 2012, I discovered open source, and especially ERP, and I loved it. Actually, I have been working with open source ERP for 10 years now already. I have a lot of experience. I started with ERPNext, then I moved to Odoo, and right now I am in ERPNext. I'm a main contributor. Actually, our company have been contributing for not only ERPNext, we have already also been contributing about high localization for Odoo also in the past. Okay. And actually, I can tell you that I really love open source. And one of the reasons that I love open source, I think I'm quite lucky that I was starting by knowing the open source as a core. There was an evangelist, actually back then is ERPNext. He told me about open source. He tell how open it is, You can go to the blog, you can go to the wiki, you can go to the meeting, and you feel everything is transparent. And so much he loved open source. And what he told me, he said that if you want to do open source, you have to be contributing. And that the word contribution marked in my head, in my brain. Right? There's a lot of good things about being contributor. There's a lot of things like you can level up your skills. You got a lot of bug fix, like if you contribute your own source, you got a lot of bug fix and everything. And actually, the one that I like most is to meeting great people. Actually, you know what? I have a lot of friends. I even have like Indonesian friends from the open source community. I know a lot of people, and many times we contributing, we always connect ourselves with other people. That is the best thing about open source, in my opinion. So why do I come to ERPNext? Let me start. So you have to understand first what are the different kinds of open source. Okay. When I was starting at ERPNext, that time it was like we call it open bazaar. You know what is open bazaar? Open bazaar is so much open that there is no one leading the project. There is no one company or no one is leading us. It's like people in the bazaar, they just chatting each other and build up the project. In my opinion, it's a nice community. I don't say it's not good, but actually it's quite chaotic. So at the end, I have been doing this for like 2 years, and actually, you know what, the community, they just crash each other and fork to another open source. So in my opinion, is a little bit chaotic and it's not sustainable. Then I know about Odoo. After that, to be the truth, to be fair, I like it. So today I'm not going to say bad things about which one is good, which one is bad. Everyone has his own strength and weakness, okay? But also for the Odoo, I'm not sure if you know, there used to be open source before. But like 10 years back, they just decided to change to open core. And that was a sad thing. Being open source and open core really matters to me, because once you become open core, you no longer really an open community, and there's one word that I hate about the software industry, which is vendor lock-in. You heard about that, right? So even though you are like half open source, like open core like that, but if you buy the subscription, which make you locked into that vendor, which is Odoo. I used to have one case that after for a while, the customer doesn't want to pay subscription for, they just cannot move. So it's like if you go in, you cannot get out. So that is the open source in my opinion. So in my opinion, this now only ERPNext that is 100% open source. Talking about the community, so if you know about my background right now, you notice that if that is not open source, I won't choose it. There will be a lot of other things that you can control. It's not open, it's not freedom. But to tell you the truth, Odoo also have some community. And actually, I am one of the person who was deep inside the community for like more than 5 years. I have been contributing a lot. If you look into the picture, you probably can find me there. Somewhere you can find. So actually, I would say in the power person who was with Odoo very deeply, I contribute a lot of modules. And it's a great community, I can say. But then there's also the cache that I want to tell you. Because OCA is not Odoo. So they are kind of two separate entities. And that causes some problem as well. So they're not like collaborating as good as, in my opinion, Frappe does. So if you come to Frappe, you won't have like a separation like that. So you will find one big good community. Okay. Even though maybe we are not as big as Odoo, right? We have to admit, Odoo is bigger, they have all the reward everywhere. But I have to tell you, this is really not biased, in my opinion. One thing I like most about Frappe is that you are part of the Frappe community, which means that in the core system, this is also possible for you to contribute. You can post the PR, accept to do the pull request, and Rohit, right? You guys here, he will accept it if you done a good job, right? We have the engineers here, and you didn't do that. The good thing about Odoo is that they have the OCA, that's the past, they have to say. In Frappe, we don't need it. We don't have it, right? Odoo may have a larger ecosystem, we are smaller. Actually, we are pretty much more unified, in my opinion. So as we have said, we just wait for another evangelist to become a very powerful open source community. Why? Odoo is not bad, in my opinion. But why? I changed. That's one thing that we have to know about Odoo. It's more about modular, right? Anyone who's Odoo before, or you have observed it? No one observed Odoo? Okay, someone observed Odoo. The good thing and the bad thing, what I try to say is almost like it is an asset and liability about modularity. I remember some of the project that I finished, the big one. I ended up installing 300 modules. And that is its beauty. That's why I thought it's beauty as a module, right? But at the end, in my opinion, if you are like very good genius developer, that's fine. You can maintain it, right? Probably you can, but I cannot anymore. So I found Frappe a lot more, I would say that it's monolithic, right? But in my case, it's more comprehensive. So you don't need a lot of modules like that. In fact, actually, you can do a lot of small modules as well. But I think it's not the way that people in Frappe is doing. They are doing maybe not so small module, but at least I think one of the things that is good about it is that it is a lot more maintainable, much easier to maintain in my opinion. And that is the product. Summary, in my opinion, my own opinion. I think ERPNext is more like a comprehensive, monolithic, where Odoo is more like an extreme modularity. That is, it's also asset and liability. Odoo can do only high code, I have to say. You have to be a developer to work on it. But for Frappe, for ERPNext, it's both high code and low code. So you can choose it. You can develop the thing the way that Odoo did, but you can do it also low code as well. It's very user focused, which means that you don't have to be like a PhD developers or something like that. You can still work with Frappe very easily. Odoo is a lot more developer focused. Not bad. I again have to say that it's not a bad thing, but it depends on how you use it. And the last thing is actually catch me the most. Because of the modularity things, it also makes things quite complex when it's time to upgrade. Right? This is the case that is happening really in my life. Let me talk about a little bit about the case. This is the real case that I did with my customer. So we have been using Odoo for this one. Engage is a manufacturing company. They use Odoo since almost 10 years ago. Okay? At the time, I was in love with Odoo as well. No wonder it's a great product, right? But it's good until you didn't, like 5 years passed, and you start, I didn't dig into the code every day, so I forget things, right? But when there's some change that I have to maintain, the first problem comes, which is maintenance. Even I have to add a new field, one new field, it gives me problem because I have to be a developer, right? So I have to install everything, and the version of the Python may be different already. So it's pretty hard to even install it at first. So the maintenance is the first challenge we have got at the time. Then come the upgrade. So the customer asked me, maybe 2 or 3 years back, hey, I want to upgrade. How do I do? I just tell them, sorry, there's no chance. There's a lot of Odoo there, you want to upgrade, you have to upgrade everything. And that's the turnout. And the hosting, that back then it was on screen, right, on premise. But, so I was thinking about the Frappe Cloud, because the Frappe Cloud comes to me at that time. I was thinking, this may be the solution. So I put this company into the test. At the time, I can tell you, it's like 3 years back, I still not a partner of Frappe yet. Because I also have doubt. I am from Odoo, right? I have a lot of doubt whether it's good, right? So I put it into the test, in this case. So I changed this, re-implement it, right? And I even test it in a way that I want to know whether low code is working. I don't open VS Code and coding anything on VS Code. I just try to use all the low code things that Frappe provides. And it turned out that I can write high localization, not all of them, but almost like 80% from low code only. And the project works, right? Later on, I use that code and contribute into the high code ways, because you have to know that high code ways also go for maintenance in the future. And one of the best things about Frappe, as I said, the upgrade is easy. If you see this version 15, right? Actually, I did it in 14. It should have a level 14 as well. I upgraded it into 15, and I expect that I can upgrade this same module without even touching on it into version 16 without I have to worry about upgrade every module. So I think this is one of the most change. I don't know how to say it, but it's one of the things that made me think I have to move on. Actually, there's a lot, the time is out. Actually, because I Odoo before, right? So there's a lot of doubt about ERPNext, technically, functionally, everything, user interface and everything. Just in short, to tell you, at first I don't like it. Many things like uptight, why uptight, have only one view, something like that. So I explore a lot, and actually many things, I can go into detail now, stuff. Many things, and I don't like it, it turned out to be beneficial. Whether it made everything a lot easier to maintain or whatever. So I want to conclude my talk with the reason. Again, I'm not saying that Odoo is bad, Odoo is good. OCA is great. But there's this very reason why I change. Because I want a peace of mind. I don't want to maintain everything whole life. I want my company to grow faster than before. So I choose stability, which is monolithic in a way, over modularity. So I choose consistency, maybe not as flexible, over flexibility. I choose user experience more than developer experience, and of course I choose open source, not open core. Right? So the last picture, you will notice, this is a picture of me. To tell you that actually I came here to Indonesia to explore ERPNext, like maybe more than 5 years ago. And that's why I say everything is the truth. I'm not convinced at the time until I have explored more and more. So I guess you guys don't have to wait like me, like 5 or 6 years to be convinced about ERPNext and Frappe.